We've already been dealing with radicals, and today we're going to look at multiplying radicals. We're going to use the basic format of the nth root of x times the nth root of y equals the nth root of xy. So what you're doing is multiplying, putting it under the radical, and simplifying as necessary. Let's look at this example. The square root of 2 times the square root of 6. We can look at this two different ways. The square root of 2 times 6 is the square root of 12. And when we simplify that, we see that that's the same as 2 times 2 times 3. So our 2 goes out, and we have 2 times the square root of 3. We can also look at the fact that we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 times 3. Again, our 2 comes out, and we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 3. Either method is appropriate, and it may just depend on you and how you prefer to do it. Let's look at another example. We have negative 2 times the square root of 18 times 5 times the square root of 50. We go ahead and combine our negative 2 and 5, which gives us negative 10, times the square root. And we can do this two different ways. If we go 18 times 50, that's 500 or 900. The prime factorization for 900 is 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 squared. So all of those numbers have squares, so we can literally bring them out. We have negative 10 times 2 times 3 times 5, which is going to equal negative 300. We can also look at it this way. Whenever we're putting it in here, we can look at our prime factorization of 18, which is 2 times 3 squared. And we can look at our prime factorization of 50, which is 2 times 5 squared. We can automatically see that the 3 and the 5 can come out because they're squared. And then we have two 2's that can come out. So again, we see that we have a 2, a 3, and a 5, all times negative 10, which is going to equal the exact same number. So you can choose whichever method you prefer. Let's look at an example that has some letters with it. Let's look at the square root of 6ab times the square root of 2bc. We're going to put this all together under one radical, and if we look at 6, it's 3 times 2, and then we have a, b, and then we have 2, and we have BC. Now, if we look closely, we have some pairs of 2. We have 2's here, and we have B's here. All of those red items can go on the outside, so we have a 2 and a B. Everything else stays on the inside. We have 3, A, and C. And this is our answer, 2b times the square root of 3ac. Something else we can do is actually simplify our radicals before we multiply them. So we have 50, the square root of 50, times the square root of 32. The prime factorization for 50 is 5 squared times 2. And the prime factorization for 32 is 4 squared times 2. We can take our 5 out here and our 4 out here, and that gives us 5 times the square root of 2 times 4 times the square root of 2. we can go ahead and multiply these two, and we have 20 times the square root of 2 times 2, because we have a 2 here and a 2 here. And that, of course, becomes 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. So this equals not 80, but 40.